let's see what you get. See your tarot for today. Done this a million times. We're using a new tarot deck. Absolutely love it, but for whatever reason, I'm having complications. So here you have delusional. So you might be in some sort of delusion having to do with relationships, okay? Or your Prince Charming. This is also the moon, so you might be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Let me see if I find a delusional here really quick. And it says illusion, fear, anxiety, subconscious intuition, release of fear, repressed emotion, inner confusion. Something in your life is not what it seems, perhaps a misunderstanding on your part, a truth that you cannot admit to yourself. So there is something that you're being delusional about, okay, some sort of truth, and it has to do with Prince Charming and kissing a lot of frogs, okay? And this has to do with maybe you wanting a fairy tale life and having some sort of expectations that don't exist in real life, okay? This can also be like truly finding your Prince Charming and maybe just waiting around and looking and not really working on yourself, okay? So if it doesn't, if it doesn't resonate with you, it's not yours, okay? But there is some sort of delusion. Yeah, so delusion, and then you have marriage and miser, okay? So most definitely there's some sort of delusion having to do with maybe the possibility of marriage, or possibly an ending of a marriage, or some sort of marriage that didn't turn out, or some sort of divorce that's coming. Let's see what your miser is. Let me see just really quick if I can find it here. If I'm not, I'm just going to give it up because I don't know how this is sort of done here. I think that give me a minute, I'm not going to find it. Miser, control, stability, security, possession, conservatism, greed, materialism, and self-protection is what miser is, but this was in reverse and I'm going to keep it. So it sort of seems that if you're married, you probably married someone that you thought was very stable, very secure financially or whatever, and that was your delusion. You were delusional about this marriage and it's not working. This can also be a divorce that's coming through that maybe is impending and you're, not seeing this, but it looks like you had this marriage situation or this partnership that was very, there was a huge perspective that was a huge, was not seen appropriately by you, and it was something that you refused to see. And I think that you're starting to see it clearly, that this gentleman, it looks like a gentleman, it could be a woman or or a man that you possibly married, was not your Prince Charming, okay? And not only that, but they were not the stability that you had, and I think that this has been very hard for you. You can also be a Cancer or a Pisces, okay? You can also be a North sign, a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. I think that you were maybe wanting some sort of compassion here, but it sort of seems like, there was no stable, compassionate offer. Maybe it was just words like, this gentleman is very well dressed and he, it's compassion. This gentleman on the floor that looks like he's homeless is really asking for, some sort of support, financial, and it sort of seems like this wasn't given. It was just sort of all words. So it seems like you got suckered into possibly a relationship that you possibly thought maybe was very going to be very helpful to you, but it really came out as not being supported financially or in terms of stability. Let me see what this word in terms of compassion is right here. Let me see if I find it. If I can't find it, we'll just leave it. Give me a minute. Compassion, generosity, charity, giving, prosperity, sharing wealth, debt, selfishness, one-sided charity. Yeah, it looks like this was a one-sided charity. It sort of seems like, there's a lot of debt, right? This is in reverse. And so I think that maybe you're currently in a lot of debt, or this marriage created a lot of debt for you, and your partner, whomever that might be, really was not well, okay, in terms of stable. And you have here isolation. I think you're getting out of isolation after just starting to see things very, very clearly. All right, so keep going. I think that you're going to do very well. As I always, told everyone, all my students and my staff, is that, and that's confirmation, is that you can't move forward if you do not accept where you're at. And so it's okay, all right? It's okay to be like this. The important thing is to see things for what they were. And maybe, I'm really sorry, but maybe there was some sort of ideal that you went in terms of your marriage, and it sort of wasn't that. And so maybe you conned yourself, okay? So I'm sorry to say that. Okay, love and light.